Heel. Orbit. Under. Heel. Spin. Spin. Under. Heel. Under. Opposite. Under. Heel. Yes. Under. Heel. Spin. 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 Under. Spin. Under. Spin. Yes. Place. Heel. Spin. 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 Under. Heel. Under. Forward. Under. Heel. Orbit. Down. Up. Under. Yes. So my dog is doing all that just for this little treat right here. Boom. Freeze-dried beef lung tip. So today I want to make a video on how to build more food drive with your dog, and it can work for your pet dog as well as your working dog. Working dogs may already have some food drive, but these tips will help you out to build that drive even a lot more. And a lot of pet dogs, I got clients out there that want to teach their dog all these tricks and they're having trouble with it and wondering why their dog won't work as hard for their food. So these tips will help as well. All right, so one of the first things you're gonna have to do to build more food drive with your dog is create a marker word. So a marker word is gonna be what you use to mark a certain behavior. And what that marker word is gonna do is let your dog know that some food is coming. So it's the same way people, how they use a clicker. It's the same thing, but I like to use my voice. I can add more enthusiasm to it, you know, when I'm like, yes, 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 and just really get the dog excited about it and their ears are perked up looking for that reward. So create a marker word. You want to be a food dispenser for your dog. Every time he hears that certain word, you should be expecting some food. And you can use a clicker, but it's all up to you. So the next tip is you want to use a high valuable treat. You can use their kibble if they are highly motivated with it. Most working dogs will be, since they scarf their food down. A lot of puppies will be just because they're so curious about food. But if you have an older dog, maybe a dog that just doesn't care about food, then you can use a high valuable treat. And what I use is freeze-dried beef lung tip. Any freeze-dried food is pretty high valuable. A lot of people use hot dogs, cheese, and stuff like that. But me, I stick to freeze-dried. But starting off, I would just find out whatever your dog really likes a lot and start off with that, and then maybe mess around, try different treats and stuff like that. So get a high valuable treat. So this next tip goes for pet dogs. A lot of clients or just other pet dog owners, they free feed their dog. And what free feeding your dog is when you leave the food out all day and the dog just go and graze on it whenever they want. A lot of working dogs don't have this problem because they scarf all their food down and you don't have to worry about it like that, or puppies as well. But you can't expect your dog to have a high food drive when they have their food out all day and they could just go eat whenever they want. So you need to stop free feeding your dog, put their food down. If they don't eat it, pick it right back up. And you're going to have a lot more food drive when you work with your dog, and they're going to start loving their kibble a lot more because they're going to realize, when my food's down, I better eat, or he's going to take the food away. So stop free feeding your dog. So another thing, you need to work your dog before breakfast and before dinner, especially if you're using a high valuable treat and you're not using their kibble. Work them before breakfast and before dinner. If you are using their kibble, just work with them at their breakfast time or their dinner time. For me, I use freeze-dried treats. I don't use raw, so that's the thing. If you are feeding raw, it is a lot messier. I would recommend freeze-dried treats, so it's still healthy and it's low calorie and all that good stuff. So work them before breakfast and before dinner, and that way they're going to be way more hungrier. They're going to be more willing to work for their food. And say if they're still not food motivated before breakfast or dinner, then I would maybe skip a meal and even fast your dog for the day if you have to. There's plenty of benefits of fasting your dog. Look into it. But when you work with them the next morning, they're going to be so ready to eat. And that's the thing. These dogs are not going to starve themselves. It's instinctual. They're going to want to have to work for their food or do whatever they need to get that food. So find the right time to work your dog and not after they've had a meal and wonder why they're not working for their food when they have a full belly. So another tip that I would recommend is you want to start crating your dog before you work with him. So think about it this way. When people go to work and they crate their dog for 8 hours, they come home, then they let their dog out, and they come bolting out full of energy. So you want to get in the habit of crating your dog so they know every time they get out, they're going to work. And that's the best time to work with them because they're coming out full of energy, pent up, ready to go and do something. Especially, say, if it's right before the breakfast or before their dinner and you're going to work with them with food, they're going to be really amped up to get to work. So I really recommend crating your dog before you work with them just because it's going to build more energy for your dog, especially if they're just out laying around the house all day with nothing to do, or they get their energy out by playing with some random toys. You're going to be getting all that energy together to put it to good use and work whatever you want to work on. So crate your dog. My last tip, which should be the most obvious, is you want to start with no distractions. So maybe start inside your house, no distractions, no TV, no nothing, just focus you and your dog. And say you get something going, then I would go back to your backyard and work in the backyard and then grow from there. You go to the front yard, there's kids out there playing, riding by on their scooters and stuff, and then go to a park, and then maybe you can go to like a mall. You know, you got to build your way up. Don't just start at a busy mall with treats and expect your dog to perform when you're not even doing the regular work with no distractions at all. So a lot of people just get too ahead of themselves or work too fast, and you don't want to do that. So just start small, no distractions, and then you should be good. You'll know when you're ready to go work at a park or something like that just by seeing your dog perform and having your own confidence as well. So start with no distractions. But yeah, those are some of the tips that I would recommend working on without knowing your dog or anything like that. And you can use the food drive for more than just tricks and obedience and advanced obedience, or just like, you know, having a reactive dog that's not really aggressive reactive. He's just excited about dogs. You can use that to take his attention off those other dogs and put it back on you. So yeah, other than that, let me know if there's any subjects you want me to talk about. But until then, just go out there and train your dog, and I'll catch y'all next time.